Hey everyone, it's Mark Wiens with migrationology.com and eatingthaifood.com. We are about an hour and a half outside of Bangkok in a province called Samut Songkhram. And we're very close to the ocean, and we are at a restaurant which is called Daeng Aharn Thale. We just ordered, I don't know, actually Ying did all the ordering, so it's gonna be a surprise what comes out of the kitchen. But this is a legendary seafood restaurant in this area, and I'm hungry. We are very close to the ocean here, even though you can't see the ocean, but actually this restaurant is right next to I guess it must be saltwater, but kind of a canal, and there are a lot of mangrove trees. And actually the kitchen and the dining area that we're sitting in is right next to the mangrove forest, so as soon as we got out of the car I could smell the saltwater aroma. And this is a pretty huge family style restaurant, so they have giant tables. We chose to sit out here in the front, and these giant hardwood varnished tables, but then they also have a huge indoor area and then another couple of back rooms. So 3 dishes have just arrived, and there's no way I can wait for all of the food to arrive before starting. It looks incredibly good. I'm gonna dish some rice. This is the type of food excitement that can only come from a seafood feast sitting right before me. This dish here is the hoi lot pad cha, and in Thai, hoi lot are razor clams, and actually in Thai, hoi lot actually translates to like shellfish, straw shellfish, and so that's how they do kind of look like little straws. And then this is fried with basil. There are chilies in here, quite a bit of chilies. There should be some finger root in here as well, and I love that ratio of basil and chilies to shellfish. That's beautiful. Oh wow, that is just excruciatingly delicious. The razor clams, yeah, they taste just like normal clams pretty much, and they have that same kind of chewy clam texture. And then this is definitely spicy. They used quite a lot of chilies. They were generous on the chilies as well as very generous on the basil. So you get that fresh, almost licoricey, natural sweet flavor in there. This dish that just arrived from the kitchen is called Meuk pad kai kem, and it's squid stir-fried with salted egg. And this is just my kind of presentation. It looks like they took a couple of squid with some green onions and some egg yolks, stuck them all in a blender, and then just blended it in and poured it onto a plate. That's the best description I think I can think of. And look at that. I think that's half an egg yolk in one bite right there. There are just all parts of the squid in all its glory in big chunks. There are chilies in here. There are, yeah, oh, and look at that gravy. That is just salted egg yolk gold. Oh yes, please, on the tentacles. Oh, and I might go in for a little bit more of that orange yolky goodness. Oh, wow, that squid is so tender. You could almost mistaken it for chicken. It's so soft. And then the egg yolk gives it a richness as well as a light saltiness. Another dish we ordered is called batu dadia, and these are mackerel. We have a small school of mackerel on this plate, and I think they are the mackerel, I think they're boiled or steamed, and then they are topped in kind of a soy sauce looking glaze with some garlic and chilies, and I actually don't know what else, so we will find out. I'm gonna start with this guy right here in the middle, take off a piece of that fillet from his side there, and making sure I have some garlic and chilies, and put that onto my rice. I'm gonna go in for a little bit more of that that sauce glaze to ensure I have all the flavor in my first bite. My first taste reaction is that it kind of tastes like teriyaki sauce. You can taste the soy sauce in there, and then it almost is like a honey sweetness. And then with that garlic and that chili to throw off or contrast the flavors, that's good. That's like comfort style teriyaki mackerel. For this bite, I'm gonna try some of the sauce, which I think is prik nam pla, which is just fish sauce and chilies and garlic. Okay, for vegetable, we got just stir-fried cabbage. There are some dried chilies in here, but I think this is just this is gonna be just kind of a palate cleanser. Just big, rough-cut pieces of cabbage, just stir-fried, maybe in a little bit of oil, but mostly just kind of watery. Oh, that's hot. Yeah, that's just very plain stir-fried. You can taste a little bit of toasted garlic in there, and maybe a little bit of those fragrance from dried chilies. But other than that, it's not even salty. It's nice and crisp, and then just, yeah, that's a really good palate cleanser in between seafood dishes. And finally, for our last dish, I ordered bu pad prik Thai dam, which is crab, and this is mud crab, black crab, which is stir-fried with just an insane amount of pepper. This is almost like winning a sports trophy, except instead of hanging it on the wall to sit and look at forever, I am gonna eat the entire plate and take a photo so I remember it. Let's just take a couple seconds and maybe perhaps a moment of silence to just admire the amount of black pepper corns, which are just probably lightly pounded within this dish, and then all of those green onions and the size of this crab claw. I'm gonna relocate some of these green onions onto my claw, and I have to begin with the claw, the crab drumstick. I'm gonna have to scoot the rice over. There are more important things right now. Oh, okay. That garlicky, peppery aroma is just unbelievable. And they have cracked this shell. Oh, that's just like, that's so easy. The shell just falls off. Oh, how convenient is that? I'm just going straight in, picking him up by the pinchers. Oh. Wow, that is absurd. That is so sweet, naturally sweet, and so flaky that it's unbelievable. Oh, and that black pepper, it's like a black pepper glaze around it, and you can taste the garlic, lots of garlic in there, and just that natural crab flavor is unreal. That is sensational. For my next bite, I'm going in for some of those green onions, which I will help onto my claw like that. I don't even know what to say. This is one of the ultimate natural things to eat from the sea, and they have done an exceptionally good job cooking it. That's like a popsicle, a crab popsicle, and the best popsicle I've ever had in my life. Something I just have to do is take my spoon and get all of that pepper sauce and garlic and green onions and Chinese celery from the bottom there, and just take a straight bite of all that pepper. Okay, I got a piece of shell with that. Okay, I better take that out. But wow, that is just sensational. The pepper, there's so much pepper that it does burn your mouth. But
At the same time, it's such a pleasant spice and such a beautiful black pepper flavor to it. I think there are also some white onions in that sauce to give it a little bit of a sweet tinge coming from those white onions. I'm going in for another piece of crab. This really does look like a drumstick. I didn't even get any crab in that bite, and it was awesome.
I would venture to say that this was one of the better seafood meals that I've ever had in Thailand. Everything was incredibly good, but that black pepper crab was just outrageous. I'm not even sure how much black pepper they used in that dish, but definitely a couple 100 grams, I would guess. Maybe even the contents, you know, those black pepper grinders? Probably a couple of those, but without grinding them at all, just dumped all that black pepper in there. It was just unbelievable. I am pretty sure that somewhere down the road this afternoon I will get a black pepper kernel that comes out of my tooth somewhere, and I'm waiting for that. I'm gonna be excited when that happens. Our total bill, there were 3 of us eating, and it came to 2,030, I think 2,030 baht, which is right about $55, which is definitely not cheap, but I do know that that crab probably was the majority of our bill. That's it for today's video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up for all of this delicious seafood, and thank you all very much for watching. See you on the next food video.